Thank you for joining us for today's podcast interview with one of our exciting Institute presenters for the AAMFT Institutes for Advanced Clinical Training. They're taking place February 29th through March 4th in 2012 in the beautiful city of Asheville, North Carolina. Today we're joined by Judith Stern-Peck, who's presenting on Families, Couples, and Money, New Ways for Therapists to Facilitate Money Conversations. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this interview, and I'm excited to talk with you a little bit more about families and money conversations. Which families do you feel are the most likely to benefit from conversations about money?
We need to talk to families because it's an area where we can find where there is the tension within the family. And not talking about it, just we don't address it. And we don't mine it, what I call mine it, as an area to really help resolve the tension. And it's a great potential area for that. I think we all, no matter where we are on the economic continuum, are affected by money.
I think that's very true. Tell me a little bit more about this tension. I think that people tend to think that money tension just stays in one place of your brain and doesn't overlap into other areas, but I know that you know otherwise.
No, because I think that when there is money tension, it has different meanings within different relationships, and it does affect the relational piece. There are disappointments, there is fear and anxiety. You know, some people stay in a marriage because they're afraid of the money situation, when indeed maybe the marriage is abusive. So I think it affects the relationships.
Yeah, I
tremendously.
Think you're right. It seems like there would be a lot of kind of bleed through into these other areas. And of course, anytime we have increased stress in one area that just gnaws away at you, it's going to put a family in a worse place for dealing with other topics as well.
Absolutely. So it's really, my agenda is really to create a better relational context. But what I'm saying is we can get to that by addressing the money issue.
Right, absolutely. And I know that in times when I've worked with clients and I thought to myself, you know, they have something going on in their background that's making it really difficult for me to move forward with my work with them. And sometimes that has been a financial strain that just gnawed away that I didn't know how to address.
Exactly. One of my agendas is to help therapists be more comfortable in that conversation.
Right, and one of the things I like in your book and reading it is I don't need to be an expert in finances or in accounting in order to help a family with this.
Right, but I need to be comfortable in that conversation, and I need to feel like I'm comfortable with it in my own life in order for me to feel comfortable talking to my clients about it.
So how can major transitions like retirement, job hunting, launching a child, or having them boomerang back, how can that impact a family in this relational, emotional level like this?
Well, because when you have major transitions like you are identifying, whether it's retirement or job hunting or launching kids, money is involved. Money is one of the implications of the change that's taking place. And being able to talk about that, understand that better, is very important. So if somebody says, I want to retire, so what is the impact of that?
And how do they talk about and make those decisions?
How do they talk about that and make those decisions?
Yeah, impacts everywhere, absolutely.
It impacts everywhere, and money can be a major source of that.
Even as we, as therapists, may sometimes get tied up around this topic, that's a reflection of how our clients feel, too. We're all people raised in this money taboo.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for your insights on this topic. I appreciate it.
Okay, Ruth. Nice to talk to you again.
Thank you for joining us for this interview. If you're interested in learning more about the AAMFT Institutes for Advanced Clinical Training, be sure to check out all the information at www.aamft.org.